All right, one of my favorite workout routines because it's such a great blend of cardio and strength training is the Phoenix AMRAP, and this is the Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday. I just want to encourage everyone that if there's warm-ups that you're occasionally trying and you start to get the hang of them, you got to keep on bringing them back, right? So whether it's bringing back the move it, or bringing back the journey jacks because you kind of got them down, but then you would fall back into your breakdown warm up and forget what you were doing with the journey jacks. Don't let it happen, right? Just challenge yourself to keep on cycling these things in. So then that way you have more depth as a coach that you can look at your room and say, man, their energy's kind of low today. You know what? I'm going to do something different. And you have it in your toolbox so that you can do something different. So let's talk about the Phoenix AMRAP. And by the way, guys, if you are watching these recordings and if they're helpful, please let us know. We're doing a lot of talking right now as to whether or not we'll keep doing these, whether they'll just be recordings, whether they should be live, so give us some feedback. But all right, as you go through your Tabata, the cardio portion, which it starts with cardio on these, you got your dumbbell seesaw lunges. So the coach is coaching the torso to be upright. I've demonstrated this before, like by even putting a book on my head, just like, you really want to be like those girls that go to the well and carry the vase, what would it look like if they lean forward? Well, it wouldn't be too good, right? They wouldn't have their water back to their, wherever they're going with it, back to their village. Well, same thing, right? You don't want to be leaning forward in your lunges. It's bad for your back. It's bad for your knees. So challenging them to keep their torso upright, challenging that range of motion. I put on here that a possible video might be walk it out, because you got to walk them back and forth here. Did I say video? Possible song. And then battle rope circles. All right, challenging the pace. All right, so that's getting those good circles right there. All of it's really pace when it comes to these 20 seconds, right? The kettlebell server carry, you're going to coach them to have their shoulder right to their ear, right? No leaning, right? You don't want to lean away from it or to it. You want to have a nice level shoulder there as well. And then I'm always kidding around. We got one girl in particular, there's a waitress in here. I'm like, hey, table 4 needs drinks. Hurry over there, but it is called a waiter carry or a server carry for a reason. So you can have a little fun with that. Number 4A is highlighted orange because they're using the equalizer, but this is a real simple solution. As you got your lateral high knee to the lateral jump. You literally don't need a equalizer. If you don't have one, then you could just do what we've done before. And it's kind of like that. In fact, you can find it on your fun coaching song list. It's a bit like the typewriter, right? If you ever use a typewriter, most people nowadays are like, typewriter, isn't that like some kind of antique from way back when, a relic? But it would go ding, 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 and right, it would slide back across. So we actually have a little typewriter sound on our fun coaching list to demo this. And so consider no equalizer, TRX inverted row. Okay, with this one, we're getting inverted. We're going ballistic. Name that movie. That was Top Gun. So I like to play a little danger zone, and our TRX is located near our wall. So we can even challenge people to put their feet on the wall. You want to give them a spot on the back. I love showing people that they can do things that they never thought possible. But what it requires of me as a coach is to be kneeling down right behind them, spotting them right on their rhomboids, and showing them that, hey, we got this, we can do this together. And they're like, oh my God, I just had my feet on the wall and I did that, right? And they feel powerful and strong and accomplished. And that's my goal as a coach, is to make them feel that way. So that's your TRX inverted row. If you need a 6 station, you can do some Russian twists. Of course, again, we're getting them to lean back when we're, having something like a Russian twist with a vert ball or jam ball. Now we get into the AMRAP, the strength portion of it. And so your AMRAPs are, possibly 5 minutes. With those, you're going to say the magic number, right? Magic number is 10. And then they're going to progress through these various exercises. On this one, you have a kettlebell swing, core in and out abs, and you have the dumbbell clean to a front squat and press. Okay. So, with the kettlebell swing, we're teaching thumbs to bum. It's all in the hips. A good song with that is Savage. That's 16 seconds in, hip swing. I like to play that when my wife is doing that one because she's got good hips and, makes it look good. And all right, just saying that, you know, she's right over there. I'm kind of flirting with her while we're doing this video. All right. So then also, as we get into core in and out abs, I think Jeremy was feeling inspired by our recent trips to perform better, because he even went so far as to put the hee-haw exercises in there. So you can certainly give the hee-haw fun where appropriate. I don't see many people walking on their hands like Tyshawn was in that video, but always, you know, fun stuff there. So just challenging the pace on this. The dumbbell clean to the front squat and press. I've highlighted that in green because you're going to talk them through it. You're going to make sure that they have good form in all that they do, but the clean is in the hips. You know, the front squat, you want to coach a squat as in they're looking at the ceiling, they're keeping their torso upright and then pressing overhead. If they have a weight that they had to use their hips to actually clean it up, then you may need to be the coach that's spotting them at their forearms so that they can press it up, right? And they also want to be encouraged to press not from their shoulders, but from their feet, right? You know, this is like where you can really put your legs into it. Then section 2, your second AMRAP, equalizer dips, easy swap out, plyo box dips. All right. So, you know, it's good that Jeremy throws the equalizer in there, but, and it's not too complicated for you that don't have an equalizer. So you can do your plyo box dips. Then you have the reach for the sky with the kettlebell. Coach the arms over the crown and over the crown of the head, you know, the whole time, right? That's how it's got to be when you're doing that exercise. Then you have your dumbbell single leg Zane curl. All right. So you're going to coach an iso bicep hold at 90 and the leg at 90. Now it shows this in the video, but just as a reminder, because it sometimes gets confusing for people, it's the same side, right? You might want to say that as you intro the exercise. Same, everybody say same side, right? So same side as the leg that's up is the arm that's bent, right? And it should make sense to you because you need a space to curl the other dumbbell, right? So the space is created by not having my leg in the way on the other side, right? So just helps you to remember which way you coach it and and it helps them remember which way they're doing it. Everybody say same side, and then maybe they'll remember when they get there which leg is up and that kind of thing. Because it doesn't make sense to everybody like it does to coaches that are more used to these exercises. All right, then your third AMRAP, the TRX suspended pull-up. Make sure your straps are correct. I pointed that out in the video. I think this video was actually me and the thing, but you want to make sure that they're not too long, right? I mean, too often people are like, all right, over here, we're going to do the inverted pull-up, which means you're supposed to be directly underneath it, because in all of our program design, we try to make room for not only horizontal pulls, but vertical pulls. But if the straps are too long, it winds up being more of a horizontal pull, or at least a diagonal one, right? So make sure that, you know, you've used the second tab to pull them up. And then for some tall people, you may even want to throw them over the bar, right? Because that gives it just a little bit more stretch. And so then that way they can get that full suspended vertical pull up. All right. So be that coach that gives a spot, gives them a couple forced reps, helps them to challenge themselves the most. If they're using their legs, they should only be using a little bit of it. Many people can just, you know, let their legs sit out in front. If you got those that you can really challenge them to use no legs at all and just really pull themselves up like they would for a pull-up. Push-ups. This week, you're coaching the perfect push-up. We're protecting those shoulders. We got the elbows in tight, you know, making sure that everything's coming down in synchrony. And what I mean by that is that, you know, it's not like your hips are touching the ground first or that your butt's being left behind. You know, it's a good solid push-up. Your hands are directly underneath your chest. So remember, push-up is a dynamic plank. So it should look like a plank coming down. And we don't let people have their butt in their air or their hips sagging in a plank. Jam ball slam. Challenge the pace and the power. So fast as you can and using that explosive power. So that is all those AMRAPs. Those are the 3 AMRAPs. Then you have a core superset. Pay attention to that video as to how to set your clock up this week, because that is going to be a little bit different than what you're used to. You go from 20 seconds to 20 seconds. And then you have 10 seconds before you do your next superset of core. There's 3 supersets of core on here, but one just feeds right into the next. And then you get 10 seconds before you go into your next 2 core exercises. So your clock is only set for 2 sets. I think it was Sam who did a great job explaining that. Just make sure you watch the videos and you'll understand how that works. And there it is. Thanks so much for tuning in.